All right, let's explore a nutrient we all hear about constantly, omega-3 fatty acids. I mean, it feels like they're in everything these days, right? Breakfast cereals, supplements everywhere. But how much do we, really understand about what they do? Today, we're going to try and cut through some of that noise, get to the core of what omega-3s actually are, why they're so vital for your body, for your brain, and maybe most importantly, how you can make sure you're getting enough. Yeah, our goal here is to pull out the really key nuggets of knowledge from all the sources we've looked at, articles, research, our notes, to help you get genuinely well informed. And we've even got some surprising facts, I think, and definitely some practical takeaways for your health. So let's get into it.
Okay, so starting right at the beginning,
Mm.
what even are fatty acids?
Fundamentally, they're the building blocks of fats.
Okay.
And they do more than just store energy, way more. They fuel our bodies, they're critical for brain function. They actually form the membranes of every single cell you have. And they help with hormone production, too.
Right, and when we talk fats, there are different kinds. Exactly. You've got saturated fats, think, animal products, lots of processed foods. The advice is generally to limit those.
Okay.
But then you have unsaturated fats. These are seen as the healthier options, mostly from plants and fish. And that's where omega-3s come in. They belong to that unsaturated group.
And what makes them essential? I hear that term a lot.
Essential is key. It literally means your body cannot make them from scratch.
Yeah.
Zero capacity. You absolutely have to get them from your diet. No other way.
Got it. So diet is the only source.
Pretty much. And the name omega-3, it actually refers to their chemical structure, specifically where the first double bond sits on the carbon chain at the third carbon from the end, the omega end.
Huh. Okay, a chemistry detail, but does that structure matter?
Oh, absolutely. That specific structure is why they can do so many different things in the body. It allows them to, fit into cell membranes correctly, influence inflammation. It's fundamental to how they support your brain, your heart, eyes, joints, really, throughout your whole life.
Okay, so essential, structurally unique. But it's not just one thing called omega-3, is it? You mentioned a family.
Right, it's a family. There are three main members you'll hear about most.
Yeah.
ALA, EPA, and DHA.
ALA, EPA, DHA. Okay, let's break those down. What's ALA?
ALA is alpha-linolenic acid. Think of it as the plant-based one, the starting point.
The precursor, you called it earlier.
Exactly. It's an 18-carbon omega-3. You get it from plant foods.
Like flax seeds.
Flax seeds are a great source, yeah. Also chia seeds, walnuts, hemp seeds.
And you mentioned something about flax needing to be ground.
Crucial point, yes.
Right.
Whole flax seeds often pass right through you. You need to grind them to access the ALA.
Okay, good tip. So ALA from plants. What does the body do with it?
Well, this is the really important part. Your body tries to convert ALA into the other two, EPA and DHA. But it's remarkably inefficient at it, like really low conversion rates.
How low are we talking?
Often less than 10%, sometimes much lower, especially for DHA.
Wow, okay, so ALA itself has some benefits, but its main job is trying to become EPA and DHA.
Pretty much. It has some mild anti-inflammatory effects on its own, but yeah, its main role is being that starter material.
Yep.
Oh, and it's heat sensitive. Best to eat those ALA sources raw, thinks smoothies, salad toppings.
Got it. Raw, ground flax, or chia. Okay, what about EPA then?
EPA is eicosapentaenoic acid. This one's a bit longer, 20 carbons. And EPA is really the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. It directly helps calm inflammation pathways in the body.
And where do we get EPA directly?
Fatty fish.
Yeah.
That's your prime source. Salmon, sardines, mackerel.
The usual stuff.
Exactly. And of course, standard fish oil supplements are typically rich in EPA.
So its benefits are mainly inflammation, heart health, mood too.
Yes. Reduced inflammation is key, which helps the heart. And there's good evidence for its role in improving mood and brain function as well.
Okay, EPA the powerhouse. That leaves DHA.
DHA. Docosahexaenoic acid. This is the longest one, 22 carbons. And DHA is, you could say, the brain-boosting architect.
Architect, how so?
Well, get this. DHA makes up a massive chunk of the fat in your brain, like 20 to 25%. Yeah. It's actually the most abundant omega-3 in your entire body. It's structurally vital for brain cells.
So where do we find DHA? Same place as EPA?
Mostly, yes. Oily fish, cod liver oil. But there's another interesting source.
Oh.
Seaweed and algae. In fact, algae is the only direct plant-based source of DHA.
Really? So vegans can get DHA directly?
They can, from algae oil supplements. That's why you see it in vegan formulas, and often added to infant formula, too.
Makes sense if it's crucial for brain development.
Absolutely critical. Brain tissue formation, nervous system development. It's also essential for your retinas, for maintaining good vision, and vital during pregnancy for the baby's brain. Plus, it seems to help reduce cognitive decline as we age.
Right. Okay. ALA, EPA, DHA,
Yeah.
plant precursor, inflammation fighter, brain builder. Got it. But you keep mentioning that conversion issue with ALA. How inefficient it is. That seems like a really big deal.
It is a big deal. Because while ALA is essential, if your body can't effectively turn it into EPA and DHA,
Mm.
you might not be getting enough of the forms that provide the most potent benefits, right?
Right. So where does this conversion actually happen and why is it so bad?
Primarily, it happens in the liver. Think of the liver as the main processing plant. There's some limited capacity in other tissues too, fat tissue, brain cells, the lining of blood vessels. But the liver does the heavy lifting.
Okay. And the process itself, you said it was like an assembly line.
Yeah, a complex, multi-step biochemical assembly line. ALA goes in one end. And it needs to go through about 6 key steps involving specific enzymes to eventually become EPA and then potentially DHA.
6 steps.
Yeah. And some of those steps are major bottlenecks. Like the very first step uses an enzyme called delta-6 desaturase. That's a flow one.
A rate-limiting step.
Exactly. Then there's adding carbons to make the chain longer, another potential bottleneck. Then another key enzyme, delta-5 desaturase, is needed to finally make EPA. This one is also rate limiting, and interestingly, it's influenced by genetics.
Genetics. So some people are naturally better or worse at this.
Precisely. Variations of the gene for that enzyme, the FADS1 gene, can significantly affect how well you convert ALA to EPA.
Huh. And you need specific nutrients for this too.
Yes. These enzymes need cofactors to work properly. Think zinc, magnesium, B vitamins like B6, vitamin C, and even enough protein.
Okay. So slow enzymes, genetic factors, nutrient needs. What else limits it? You mentioned competition.
Ah, yes. The competition aspect is huge. Probably the biggest factor for many people.
Competition with what?
Omega-6 fatty acids. The exact same enzymes, those delta-6 and delta-5 desaturases, are needed to process both omega-3s and omega-6s.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Right. The typical Western diet is absolutely swimming in omega-6s. Think vegetable oils, corn, soy, sunflower used in everything processed and fried.
So the enzymes are just too busy with omega-6s.
Exactly. If the ratio is way off, like 15-1 or even 20-1 omega-6 to omega-3, instead of an ideal closer to, say, 4-1 or less, those enzymes are overwhelmed processing omega-6s, leaving very little capacity to convert the ALA you eat.
Which explains those really low numbers you mentioned earlier.
It's a massive part of it. That conversion of maybe 5–10% ALA to EPA and a tiny 0.54% making it all the way to DHA, a lot of that is down to this enzyme competition.
Plus the inherent enzyme slowness, genetics, maybe nutrient gaps.
And other things too. Metabolic issues like insulin resistance, chronic stress, inflammation itself, they all impair the process.
It sounds like a lot is working against that conversion.
It can be, yes. Oh, and there's that sex difference too.
Right. Women converting better.
Women of reproductive age, yes. Estrogen seems to boost the activity of these enzymes. It's likely an evolutionary thing, to help ensure enough DHA gets made for fetal brain development during pregnancy. They tend to have higher DHA levels than men, even with similar intakes.
Fascinating. Okay, so it's clear just eating flax seeds might not cut it for getting enough EPA and DHA for most people. So let's pivot. Assuming we do get enough EPA and DHA, either from fish or maybe supplements, how do they actually work? What are they doing inside us?
Right, moving beyond just being nutrients to their actual jobs.
Yeah, I like that engine oil analogy you used. Keeping things running smoothly, preventing damage, calming things down.
It's a great way to think about it. Because their actions are so fundamental, one key mechanism is they literally get built into your cell membranes.
Into the structure of the cells.
Yes. Imagine your cell membrane needs to be flexible, fluid, able to receive signals. Omega-3s make them more like that, less stiff. This improves how cells talk to each other. Super important for brain cells, immune cells, you name it.
Okay, better cell communication. What about inflammation?
That's where EPA and DHA are superstars. They are the raw materials for making compounds called specialized pro-resolving mediators, or SPMs.
SPMs. Fancy name.
It is, but they do exactly what it sounds like. They resolve inflammation actively.
Not just blocking it, but cleaning it up.
Exactly. There are different types, like resolvins, protectins, maresins. Think of them as the body's natural firefighters and cleanup crew for inflammation. They tell the immune system, okay, the threat is gone, stand down, and help repair the damage. This is huge for preventing chronic inflammation.
Wow. Okay, and the brain. You mentioned DHA being a big part of it.
Huge part. That 20–25% fat content, a lot of that is DHA making membranes fluid, helping neurotransmitters work better, supporting synaptic plasticity, basically, learning and memory.
And EPA helps with mood chemicals.
Yes, EPA seems particularly important for balancing things like serotonin. That's why it's linked to improvements in depression and anxiety.
And the heart, lowering triglycerides.
Definitely. They can lower triglycerides quite significantly, sometimes 25–30%, maybe even more. They also help regulate heartbeat, make blood less sticky to prevent clots, and protect artery walls from plaque buildup. Really multifaceted heart protection.
And the immune system making it smarter, not just stronger.
Precisely. They help balance it. They signal immune cells not to overreact, which is key in autoimmune conditions where the immune system mistakenly attacks the body.
It really sounds like they have this calming, balancing, optimizing effect everywhere. So, translating these mechanisms, what are the big, noticeable health benefits people might experience if their levels are good?
Okay, let's run through some key areas where you'd likely see the impact. Brain health. We're talking better cognitive function focus, memory, clarity. Also, significant support for mental health, reducing anxiety, depression symptoms, and that long-term neuroprotection, potentially delaying age-related decline.
Huge. What else?
Cardiovascular health. This is a big one. Lower triglycerides, better blood pressure, fewer clots, improved blood flow, more stable heart rhythm, all contributing to lower risk of heart attack and stroke.
Okay, heart and brain. What about inflammation elsewhere?
Their anti-inflammatory effects are systemic, so reduce joint pain and arthritis, potentially fewer asthma attacks, help with autoimmune flare-ups, improvements in skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis, even soothing inflammation in the gut like an IBD.
Wow, skin, joints, gut.
Then vision and eye health. DHA is crucial for the retina. Good levels help maintain sharp vision, reduce risk of macular degeneration, and can even help with dry eye symptoms.
Didn't expect the eye connection to be so strong.
It's very direct. Also, bone strength. They help with calcium absorption and reduce joint inflammation, supporting overall bone density.
Okay, what else is on this impressive list?
A balanced immune system, as we mentioned. Yeah. Better response to infections, support for autoimmunity. Some athletes notice enhanced stamina and endurance, likely due to better circulation, and reduced muscle soreness, meaning faster recovery.
Interesting.
There are anti-aging aspects too, fighting oxidative stress, protecting DNA through telomere length maintenance, keeping things working better for longer. And mood, definitely. EPA's link to serotonin helps combat depression, anxiety, build stress resilience.
And sleep. You mentioned that briefly.
Yes, sleep quality. DHA in particular seems linked to melatonin production and calming the nervous system, potentially helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep.
That's a benefit that many people would love.
Absolutely. We could also mention hormone balance, better absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, liver health. The list is genuinely long.
It really covers almost every base. Foundational seems like the right word, but if they're so important, what happens when you don't get enough? What does deficiency actually look like?
Given how widespread their roles are, deficiency symptoms tend to be gradual, systemic, and sometimes vague, unfortunately.
Which makes it hard to pinpoint.
Exactly, it creeps up. The main causes are pretty straightforward, though. Number one, simply not eating enough fish or seafood. Most Western diets fall short of that 2 servings a week guideline.
Okay.
Number two, the poor fat balance. Way too much omega-6 compared to omega-3, hindering metabolism.
The 15.1 ratio problem.
Right. And number three, vegan or vegetarian diets relying only on ALA sources without adding a direct EPA source like algae oil. That conversion bottleneck just makes it almost impossible to get enough that way.
So what are the signs if someone's listening and wondering?
Okay, let's break down potential symptoms by area. Mental and cognitive. This is a big one. Brain fog, difficulty concentrating, memory issues, maybe worsening mood, more anxiety or depressive feelings. In kids, sometimes ADHD-like symptoms.
Okay, brain fog is a common complaint.
Very. Then inflammation-related, persistent joint pain or stiffness, feeling like you catch everything, compromised immune function, chronic fatigue that doesn't resolve with rest, or more frequent flare-ups of autoimmune conditions.
And in hair, too.
Definitely. Skin and hair, dry, flaky, itchy skin, brittle hair or nails, worsening eczema or psoriasis.
Eyes.
Eye and vision. Dry eyes are common, blurry vision, sensitivity to light, and potentially a faster progression of age-related macular degeneration.
Cardiovascular.
Yes, potentially higher triglycerides, maybe slightly higher blood pressure, and an increased risk of arrhythmias or irregular heartbeats.
Wow. And reproductive health.
That too, reproductive and pregnancy, hormonal imbalances, potential fertility issues for both men and women. During pregnancy, a much higher risk, some studies say up to 60% higher of preterm birth, plus the risk of impaired brain and eye development for the baby.
That's significant. Anything else?
Sleep and energy. Trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Feeling drained during the day, even after decent sleep. Maybe increased fatigue after exertion.
It's such a diverse list. It really underlines how systemically they work. So, if you're experiencing some of these and you suspect deficiency, is there a way to actually test it? To know for sure?
Yes, thankfully there is. The gold standard is the omega-3 index blood test.
Omega-3 index, what does that measure?
It measures the percentage of EPA and DHA found in the membranes of your red blood cells. Because red blood cells turn over every few months, this gives a really good picture of your average intake over the last, say, 3 to 4 months. It reflects your long-term tissue levels.
Okay, so it's not just what you ate yesterday.
Exactly. It's a stable, long-term marker. And the results are usually given in percentages, falling into risk zone.
Risk zones.
Yeah. An index below 4% is generally considered the high-risk zone. Really deficient, associated with the highest risk of problems.
And higher is better.
Right. 4% to 8% is sort of an intermediate zone. This is where, frankly, most people eating a typical Western diet land. There's definitely room for improvement.
And the optimal zone.
Above 8%. This level is associated with the greatest cardiovascular protection and overall health benefits. It's often seen in populations with high fish intake, like in Japan.
Okay, testing is an option, but whether you test or not, the goal is to get those levels up. So let's talk practical strategies. How can you optimize your omega-3 levels? What can people actually do? First off, it seems obvious, but eat those omega-3 rich foods regularly.
Right. Absolutely. That means fatty fish, wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, anchovies, aiming for 2, maybe 3 servings a week.
And a serving is like
Around 4 ounces. A piece that size of wild salmon can give you roughly 1,500 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA. That's a good dose.
Okay, fish first. What about the plant sources?
Definitely include plant-based ALA sources daily. Ground flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts. A tablespoon of ground flax gives about 1.8 grams ALA. Chia is even higher at 2.5 grams per tablespoon. Walnuts around 2.6 grams per ounce.
But always remembering that conversion issue.
Always. It's supplemental, not usually sufficient on its own for EPA DHA.
Which leads to supplements.
Yeah, consider strategic supplementation. It's often necessary, especially if you don't eat fish regularly, if you're vegan or vegetarian. Also recommended for people with existing chronic inflammation, or during pregnancy and breastfeeding when needs are higher.
What should you look for in a supplement?
Aim for around 500 to 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day for general health. Check the label carefully for those specific amounts. Crucially, look for third-party testing seals like from IFS or NSF ensuring purity and potency. Low oxidation is important too. Rancid fish oil isn't helpful.
Good point. And for vegans?
Algae oil is the direct source of EPA and DHA without involving fish. You take any omega-3 supplement with a meal containing some fat for better absorption.
Okay, food, maybe supplements. What else?
Yeah.
That omega-6 balance.
Huge. You have to balance your omega-6 intake. This is non-negotiable for optimizing omega-3 status. It means actively reducing vegetable oils, like soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower oil. Cut back on deep-fried foods, processed snacks, baked goods made with those oils.
What oils should you use instead?
Focus on monounsaturated fats like olive oil, avocado oil. Coconut oil is okay in moderation too. The goal is shifting that ratio from 15.1 down towards 4.1, or even better, like 2.1.
That takes conscious effort.
It really does. Then you can try to support ALA conversion pathways, even if they're inefficient. Ensure you have enough of those cofactors. Zinc, maybe 15-30 milligrams daily. Magnesium, 400-600 milligrams. B vitamins, especially B3, B6. Vitamin C, 500-1,000 milligrams. And adequate protein intake.
Right, giving the enzymes the tools they need.
Exactly. And finally, manage lifestyle factors. Get enough sleep. Manage your stress. High cortisol depletes omega-3s and impairs conversion.
Makes sense.
Reduce overall inflammation through diet and lifestyle. Avoid smoking and limit alcohol. Both are really damaging to omega-3s and liver function.
Okay, that's a solid set of strategies. Eat fish, add ALA sources, consider supplements, cut omega-6s, get nutrients, manage lifestyle. But what about things that might be actively lowering your levels, even if you're trying?
Good question, because several things can sabotage your efforts. We've hammered the high omega-6 intake point, but it bears repeating. It directly blocks omega-3 utilization. Poor ALA conversion itself is a factor. Being male, having chronic inflammation, metabolic syndrome, nutrient gaps, all hinder it.
The nutrient deficiencies we mentioned.
Right. Deficiencies in zinc, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin C directly impair the enzymes. Chronic inflammation and oxidative stress act like drains, constantly using up your omega-3 stores, especially DHA in the brain.
So managing inflammation helps preserve your omega-3s.
Absolutely. Smoking and alcohol use are also major drains, increasing oxidative stress and messing with liver processing. Lack of sleep and chronic stress through cortisol deplete stores and reduce uptake into tissues like the brain.
Are there medications that interfere?
Yes, certain medications can. Things like statins, some beta blockers, certain antidepressants, even oral contraceptives might affect omega-3 metabolism or increase needs. Worth discussing with a doctor if you're concerned.
Okay, what else?
Aging itself tends to reduce enzyme efficiency. And digestive or liver disorders, anything affecting fat absorption or processing, like gallbladder issues, pancreatic insufficiency, or liver disease, can prevent you from getting the omega-3s from your food or supplements effectively.
And just generally unbalanced or very low-fat diets.
Exactly. You need some fat to absorb fat-soluble nutrients like omega-3s.
That's a lot to consider. It really shows how interconnected everything is. Okay, one specific question that comes up a lot with supplements. Fish oil versus cod liver oil, what's the difference? Which one should you choose?
Ah, yes, the classic question. They often sit side by side on the shelf. The main thing to know is both contain the key omega-3s, EPA and DHA. So you get those benefits from either.
But cod liver oil has something extra.
It does. It's naturally very rich in vitamin A and also contains a good amount of vitamin D. Standard fish oil generally doesn't have significant amounts of A or D added, unless it's specifically fortified.
Okay, so extra vitamins in cod liver oil, is that always good?
Not necessarily. There's a crucial caution with cod liver oil: vitamin A toxicity. Because it's so high in vitamin A, taking large doses of cod liver oil can lead to getting too much vitamin A, which can be harmful, especially during pregnancy. Fish oil doesn't carry that same risk.
Right, vitamin A is fat soluble, so it builds up.
Exactly. So, comparing benefits, for pure heart health, especially high-dose triglyceride lowering, regular fish oil is often preferred as you can take more EPA without the vitamin A risk. For brain function, they're probably pretty similar because the benefit comes mainly from DHA, which both provide.
But cod liver oil might be better for
Bone and immune health, potentially, because of the added benefit of natural vitamin A and D, which are crucial for those systems.
So how do you choose?
It boils down to your individual needs. Choose fish oil if you want high doses of EPA specifically for heart, brain, or inflammation support, and you know you get enough vitamin A and D from your diet or other supplements. Choose cod liver oil if you suspect you might need extra vitamin A and D, you're looking for broader support for bones, immunity, or vision. A and D, you commit to taking it in moderation, respecting the dosage guidelines to avoid vitamin A excess.
Moderation is key for cod liver oil.
Absolutely. And for both, remember the general precautions. High doses might increase bleeding risk, so talk to your doctor if you're on blood thinners or having surgery. And always, always choose reputable brands that are third-party tested for purity, heavy metals like mercury, and freshness, low oxidation.
Purity and freshness are critical. Okay, wow. What a deep dive this has been. From the absolute basics of fatty acids
Through that complicated conversion process.
to the incredible range of benefits, the signs of deficiency, how to test, how to optimize.
It really hammers home that omega-3s aren't just a nice to have. They're fundamental.
Truly whole body nutrients, aren't they? Impacting brain, heart, skin, immune system, hormones, eyes, sleep, bones, everything.
And hopefully, understanding these details, the conversion limits, the deficiency signs, the different types, how to get enough, really empowers you, the listener, to make informed choices.
Yeah, taking control based on knowledge, that's the goal.
It really is.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If optimizing your internal engine means understanding its crucial oil, like omega-3s, what other unseen essential nutrients might be subtly dictating the quality of your day-to-day well-being, just waiting for you to discover their full power?